You know the deal. Before we proceed with this video, if you just want to skip ahead to a certain skin that's caught your eye, consider looking in the description. Everything is chaptered. Now, before we had the rust rotation, like last night when we did those abnormal barders, I sat here and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could get some lovely green tier 3 or tier 2, some hoodie pants, maybe even some primitive skins. There's some lovely looking Reptile Hunter, boots and gloves, primitive, and of course, you know, rotund gloves and boots. It was all lining up quite nicely. Could have had Jungle Raiders, could have had a collection continuation to flashbacks, or even another completely brand new green clothing and armor set, perhaps. And what did we get? Cool. Nice. So, yeah, that happened. I did tweet this out earlier. To my surprise, it actually was an early roster rotation. But, you know what? Last week, we did get quite a lot of skins in a single rust store for a normal rust store. So, okay. Not that many this week. Cool. Where's the clothing and the armor? Do you know that whole thing I was saying in regards to maybe just like lower your expectations, just chill out a bit and whatnot? Yeah, there you go. They seem to be very averse to the idea of accepting any more green clothing and armor. So maybe don't get your hopes up too high. Alright? Welcome to Rust Stores. Alright then, so let's just go through the whole spiel. So it's only 8 skins today, but I will sit here and say they have committed to the jungle theme. All right, every single skin here is to do with jungle. So okay, cool. But out of all of these skins, which ones are and are not abnormal? And honestly, I could probably just quickly point this out to you right now. For what we have over here, this is not abnormal. This is not abnormal, and this is not abnormal. Just these 3 skins. That of course means the garage door, the double barrel shotgun, the AK-47, the sleeper bag, and the Savage sword. That is abnormal. We do have something to chase after next week, so okay, cool. Not going to complain about that. Right then, so, well, yeah. I don't have much to say. I'm sorry, but for what it is, okay, we're going to have a calm week this week. Not going to complain. But you know how I kind of talked about last week? Oh, great, we got 2 garage doors in the same rust store, whilst we have 2 garage doors as Twitch drops currently. Felt like a great time for another garage door for $3, right? And I said the same thing. Oh, you know, God, we're so desperate for some more sheep in the doors. We had 2 last week. We had 1 currently as a Twitch drop. Say hello to another one. So, yay. Okay. In regards to weapons, though, we do have some interesting things. Like, all of them are pretty special. And, of course, when we showcase them, you'll see that for yourself. We do have a very nice-looking sleeping bag as well. I know a lot of people are on that. A lot of people are very happy to see a green sleeping bag. But you do have to kind of be aware that we kind of already have green sleeping bags. And I've already put out a short video in the past in regards to how effective are they. Are the more expensive ones even that much different compared to like the cheaper ones? And honestly, the result is, well, you'll find out in a bit. Alright then, so, shall we just jump into it? Shall we showcase all the skins now and give them a good talk in regards to how they're probably going to fare as investments? Jungle Tomb Sleeping Bag. Now, in regards to what I saw being submitted somewhat recently, we didn't have that many sleeping bags that were green, so there was Bad Trip, there was some other ones that were not so green and whatnot, but that was the one that was accepted. The Jungle Tomb sleeping bag produced by Mr. Sapesh, the man behind the Senor Tomato collection and whatnot. So, okay then, you've been pretty good so far. Right, so Jungle Tomb, $2. It's been about 4 hours since the roster rotated, and it's got about 4,000 subscribers. Are we going to see ridiculous sales like last week? Which, if I could just point out to you, was absolutely ridiculous. Now, as of now, you'll see that these prices appear to be in the positive. That's as of now. But as I have warned you from the previous week, all of these skins were selling excessively. They continue to sell excessively, and now with their final results, they have sold excessively. I am worried for them. I am concerned. That might still work out quite nicely if we do ever eventually see like some continuations of some sort. But Jungle Ivy Rug, that's going to be a really interesting one. It has sold 7,000 more compared to the Kelp Rug, for example. All right, but we're not going to be concerned about anything like this because I do not really expect any big sales out of all these skins. After last week, I think a lot of people have spent their money. I think they want to kind of chill out this week, and probably, maybe at best, we'll probably only see like a skin sell about 20,000, maybe. That sleeping bag, though, it is going to be getting some attention. People are going to just instantly say, oh, I could put it in the grassy area and whatnot. It blends in nicely. Yeah, but there's already sleeping bags that already do that. So I just want to settle you down, relax. I've got a lovely showcase for you because I've got a lot of sleeping bags currently out on display. But I also showcase this in the grassy plains, the fields and whatnot. But if I could just quickly inform you, we also currently happen to have snakebite. It does glow though, but only in the eyes. We also happen to have, I don't know, you could consider pixel sleeping bag, fish bag, you could consider forest camo bag. $17 though, Hedge. Oof. But that has been around for a very long time and people have been using that in the grassy fields, so that's been appreciated. Now if I could just go a little bit further down, I could also bring up that we also happen to have like free folk bedroll. That's only $2. That's the same price, and there's a lot less of these in circulation, because that came out years ago. So yeah, only 36 listings. Bars are pretty strong compared to this, the price it's selling for. But that's only $2. So be careful, be calm, don't go too ridiculous with the Jungle Tomb sleeping bag. And if we were to scroll down just a little bit more, you are probably fully well aware of the Jungle Camo sleeping bag. That is $43. However, I am pretty confident that was manipulated. If you look at its sales history, which you can see here, it just randomly goes whoosh, and you're going to sit there and say, oh, but wasn't that because of the jungle? No, that happened in February. So, yeah, that's just a little bit suspicious. So, no, I don't think it's a good idea to jump in and buy this, and also do a showcase in a second to kind of give you a good idea that, you know what, maybe this brand new bag probably is much better considering the price of that right there. But if you're thinking about probably wanting to buy a whole big fat batch of them to sell onwards, I don't think it's actually a very clever idea. Again, I've just pointed out there are other green bags out there, and they're not all selling at a ridiculous price. Some are, because they are older, but I've just pointed out one that's older and it's only still at $2. So come on, let's go hop out here and get a good look at this skin in-game. I'd be sitting here dancing with my brand new green clothing and armor set if I had one, but no. Alright, stop complaining. Let's show off what we actually got. And I've got to sit here and say, Mr. Sapesh has actually made a very nice, interesting design. It doesn't really look like an actual bag, rather, again, like an actual tomb, as if it's made out of stone. This really doesn't reflect that much. And if you're concerned about whether it happens to glow in the dark and whatnot, well, no. And with the light right next to it, it hardly even reflects. It's pretty interesting. But of course, just to really confirm this, total darkness, off we go. So what are your thoughts? Are you happy? Again, if you want a sleeping bag outside, you don't want it shining at night time, do you? People will be able to spot it. But no, can confirm, doesn't glow. And now, I did allude to it, so we could just pick up the pace and move over to here. Can you spot them? Yep. Did you see him? Let's pull back, rise up, and here we go. A nice little demonstration to do. Right, so we could just move the sun about. You will be able to showcase these other sleeping bags that were brought up and mentioned. So in the shade, some of these bags, they really do benefit. But let's just, get all the light here. So here we have our brand new sleeping bag on display. I've put it on two separate sides. One under all the plants and one that's a little bit more out. So as you can see, out in the open, it is noticeable. But under the leaves and whatnot, it looks like it does a pretty good job of hiding. So give that a good look. We also happen to have that forest camo sleeper bag right there as well. We have a standard bag, just to kind of get the point across in regards to, well, you know what? Maybe it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe you could just use a standard bag. Do you even need to buy a sleeping bag skin and put it in the jungle? Feel free to comment below what you think. Free Folk right there. Pixel. Pixel does glow a bit with the lava. And then over to here, we have the snake bite. Again, the eyes glow on this one. And then we have the fish bag, which isn't too expensive, but it certainly isn't as expensive as this one over here. So as I said, this, for the past couple months, it really does look like it's just manipulated. I don't think people bought this because they realised jungle was just around the corner. For the price it went up to, it really didn't come across as like legit actual interest. And if you're wondering, well, okay, what about nighttime? Can we get a quick look at all of them? All right, yeah, sure. There you go. Yeah, I did just say a minute ago, when skins glow, sleeper bag skins, they're pretty noticeable. So yeah, I can see Pixel, I can see the snake. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, now then, so if I could just like gain consciousness, I don't need to dance anymore. I need to try and see if they're easily noticeable as I run along. So I'll just run past them. And I'll be honest with you, whilst you can see that one out in the open, the others weren't that noticeable. And if I were to just kind of stand here, can you really spot any of them? Not really, no. Even the standard bag. Now, if I was really putting an effort in looking down, yeah, sure, you're going to see them. That's inevitability. But if you're rushing around and you're not really like bothering, loads of people are just going to run over but not even notice. So, in terms of the effectiveness of this bag, yeah, for $2, I think that's a great pickup. Not going to complain. It's a very nice looking skin, and it's definitely much more cost effective compared to that thing there. It's still a very nice looking skin. It's just, that one's just a little bit naughty. Right, so, feel free to write below, write in the comments. What are your thoughts in regards to how useful this is? But of course, I also need to showcase it in like the grassy plains, the field and whatnot. So let's go ahead and give that a good look as well. I will dance through my disappointment. It helps relieve the pain. Right, got it. Let's go. So, where have I planted the bags? Well, immediately you might have spotted that one. Yeah. Give that a good look. Let's just move the sun around. In some shade. It looks like it hides quite nicely. But this isn't the only bag. As we move along, I'll just keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Did you spot it? Whoop. Oh. Right, so, not too bad. If you really weren't looking for it, I'm sure many people just walk past that. Of course, when I'm walking all over, oh, look, now I flattened it. But yeah, I think you could agree that's pretty effective, even in the grassy fields as well. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people could appreciate that. And then if we could just move over to here, where the bushes are a lot more thicker, they kind of reach the ground a lot more. Can you see it? Yep, just to the right here. There we go. So, yeah, this is actually going to be very, very nice. I think a lot of people will be appreciating this bag. Yes, yes, yes. But again, in terms of investment, is that still like, is it going to go up in price? Is it actually going to get anywhere? How much is it going to sell? That's definitely something to consider. But also, I did bring up that other $2 bag. Should I do the exact same thing and give that a good look right now? So a quick little above ground view. I'm on the rock right nearby and, well, in the grass. Can't really spot the sleeping bag. I turn my head over to here. I walk on past. There it is. And as I get a little bit closer, did you spot it? Yeah, it's got a little bit of brown on the bottom. But at the end of the day, that's looking to be very effective. So, yeah. And then, of course, if I move over to here, how easy is that to spot? Not really. So, again, that's also $2. If there are other options available, it's going to kind of prevent this brand new bag from going up in price. All right? And based on what we just saw a minute ago, it's quite the selection. So, again, feel free to comment below what you're thinking. But let's hop out of here. Quick, get a quick look at SCM.app. So with that sleeping bag being abnormal, keep an eye on it. We'll see how much it sells. Scroll, scroll, scroll. So just remember, that's $12,000 in total. It's currently selling for $2.57. Scroll, 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 scroll. Fish bag just down over here. Well, that's less than $2. There's 15,000 of them in total. Also, Pixel sleeping bag. The glow. I'm not sure how confident you are with that, but hey. That's also just around $2. And if we could scroll. That one's obviously a little bit more pricey. But of course, the main one we just showcased, the Free Folk Bedroll, well, $2. And there's not that much of it in circulation. That only has, how many subscribers again? 54. But it did come out in 2017. That has been found a lot in like high quality crates, for example. But certainly not like 10,000. So, it's very likely that this will be held back, or rather kept grounded. Maybe it goes up to $3. Would you be satisfied if you bought like maybe 100 of them and then you could sell them and make about like 70-cent profit on each of them? I think a lot of people could still be pleased with that. But if it does sell like about 20,000, I don't think it's going to be that successful. And the smart approach is we've got to wait. I would definitely recommend that. Yep. So, yeah, I think it's a very nice looking sleeper bag, and I think you could get great usage out of it. But if you're looking at it as an investment, you might need to be a little bit more patient. Got to wait it out. To all those people who bought their ivy rugs early, maybe this could be a nice lesson to learn. Shall we move on then? Heat Seeker AK-47, a very interesting design produced by Mr. Vase, and I have to bring this up. It's not just the AK. Very recently, we have also seen an MP5 as well. Both of them have a very cool looking pink and yellow aesthetic design. It looks really, really nice, and I'll be showcasing it in just a second. But $3 AK. Have I been in this position before? Yeah. We've seen many fairly pricey AKs in the past, and they don't tend to hold up very nicely. But what we do tend to see, some very unique AK-47s tend to work out pretty good. You've got to have some very standout designs for people to actively want to go back and enjoy them. Somewhat recently, we did have the Sakura AK-47. It was all bright pink and it had an anime girl in it, right? Okay, she carried that. I'm joking, but point is, that is a design that stands out so much compared to all the other skins we get. And if we could just quickly go back to last year. Last year, what did we see? Well, we had the very nice, cool-looking sleek black design of Black Diamond AK-47. I know we have other black AKs, but that did look very nice. And then, of course, we also happen to have Thunder Gold. Now, looking at all the other skins here, we didn't get that many white skins or gold or sleek black designs. You did get Commando, shut up. But point is, these two worked out quite nicely compared to the other 44. Yeah, 45. Well, 43 technically. And there were Twitch drops and whatnot. I'm looking at this AK, and I'm going to sit here and say, I do think it can be considered to be a nice, very cool looking, unique design. I am confident we'll be seeing a very interesting weapon collection being produced from here and now. Again, the MP5's already been submitted. What could we expect next? SAR, crossbow, L96, revolver, Python, SAP, you name it. I'm looking forward to it. But there's also an interesting design with its AIMSIGHT, and well, we got to showcase that right now, don't we? Okay, right. So immediately get a good look at that tiger. You also might notice like a green tint, like a holographic effect. It looks a bit odd. I will sit there and say that. But this is a very unique design. I have never seen anything with this colour scheme in this game. And Vase, that is an awesome looking tiger. He's done a fantastic job with that. Then we have the AIMSIGHT. I'm not sure if you can see this, but he's got like transparency in the actual AIMSIGHT. No, this is not transparent based on the idea that, oh, it's like got some cutaways so I can see a little bit more vision on the side. No, it's the actual AIMSIGHT itself. So, I'm not opposed to the idea. No one's done this before, and I guess we'll find out if people like it. But it does look a little bit odd, doesn't it? Yeah. Right, quick look at night time. Give that a good look. Right, doesn't appear to glow in the dark or anything. But the night light on that tiger looks very nice. And I'll aim down. Stands out quite nicely. I can see the AIMSIGHT pretty nicely. Yep. Doesn't glow though, so. Right, quick little reload, if we may. Yeah, get a look at that green sheen. It's like a TF2 specialised weapon. Oh, if you know, you know. Right, but yeah, that's pretty sweet. So why don't we go ahead and look at it on stage? Yeah, get a good look at that. Look at that green. It's a bit odd, but it's different. Like a holographic card. Right, so if I could just put myself on display, like so, bring that down a bit, and we're bam. Now don't mind my silly hat. Observe the very cool looking design of this AK-47. And yeah, there's the sheen there. Looking pretty cool. So what's your opinions? Do you like this design? Do you think it's pretty alright? Do you like the design of the AIMSIGHT? Again, I'm a bit perplexed with it. I've had some people turn up just now and they said this doesn't look very good in the desert, more specifically the AIMSIGHT as you aim down. So I'm like, okay, well, why don't we go ahead and give that a good look and we'll see for ourselves if that's actually like a problem. So, all right then, teleport to the jungle. Desert, 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 not the jungle, desert, desert. I'm an idiot. Right, so there's a pig. Run, piggy, run. But yeah, I mean, if I just levitate, because I can, because I'm a magician, you see. When you're looking at like the sandy parts, it does kind of disappear a bit. I don't know. What about if you go like the real sandy parts? What about if you go in there? No, I'm good. But, yeah, the very top of it does kind of disappear when you're looking like in the sand. I don't think it's too much of a worry. But, of course, as time goes on, people probably complain. You can see it for yourself. If you're a little bit hesitant now, all right, fair enough, cool. But, it's that very top two, like, prongs. It's kind of like a fork, I guess you could say, but yeah. Well, at least you are aware of that, okay? At the end of the day, looks nice, but that might be a problem. Again, feel free to comment below. Okay, so I was asked to try something out. Just looking around here, but I'm not here to look at the horizon. But you can just get an extra look at this, and then where is he? There he is. Haha, Desert Raider Man. Okay. So someone asked, if you actually look at a guy wearing like full Desert Raiders, does the AIMSIGHT go a bit funny now? Yeah, I can see how it just kind of disappears. Like, I guess it's the lighting, because when I go more this side, the left side's more yellow. When I go right, there you go, yeah. So when it gets a bit too dark, you kind of lose like the sight of the prongs. It sounds so silly, but yeah, if I could just move this. So come on, son, help me out. Let's move you around. Yeah, this is helping justify my point. I might be stuck. Yeah, all right, let's keep moving that sun around. So now it's facing away. I can see it constantly. But then if we, yeah, now the one on the right starts to disappear. And if it moves to the other side, now the one on the left starts to disappear. Okay, look, we've been a little bit hyper-focused with this, but you are now aware, all right? So, again, if you are concerned, well, at least we figured that out for you. But you can still see, basically, where you're shooting. So, again, just use a holosight. All right, we're back to here, and someone else suggested this. There you go. So, here's Forest Raiders. And if I could just make it a little bit darker, let's go in the shade. And let me tell you, Forest Raiders very good in the jungle. We have a video, of course, showcasing various different green options in the jungle. Even some of the cheaper stuff is still very, very, very effective. So if I could just make it so I'm even like in the shade, and there you go. In the shade, it seems to stand out perfectly fine. But no issue there. And then, well, we can also do this. It's gotten slightly darker. But again, stands out quite nicely. There you go. You can see that very reasonably fine. And then, apparently this needs to be done. But yeah, I can see it. It's there. I don't know where the Forest Raiders guy is, though. This feels a bit redundant. Do you also want me to show what it's like when I close my eyes? It's a bit challenging. So, to all those YouTubers out there, here's a new fun idea. Try and play Rust Blind. Oh, the tigers are going to find me, aren't they? Oh. Okay, good. I somehow managed to get my way back to SCMM. Okay, so, that AK. It's interesting. It's odd. I'm sure you could agree with that. Is it unique enough and interesting enough in which it could probably be an AK you'd like to constantly use? Right. Well, we'll see, okay? Art's amazing. Another skin creator can pull it off with a lot more interesting weapon skins. We'll see how it progresses. Could it be a very interesting summer collection? A nice, cool, very unique colour scheme, weapon collection. And in the past, we have seen some interesting weapon collections actually work out quite nicely. We'll see. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about that Aztec garage door. Now, this is going to be fairly quick in terms of, hey, do I think that's going to be a nice investment? No. There you go. Job done. But, yeah, let's still showcase it. So, for what Mr. Horomeow has produced here, it's a very lovely looking design. It's just, it's unfortunate we've already had 2 garage doors that were jungle theme and also look very nice. This one still does look different and it does glow very nicely, which we'll showcase to you in a bit. But it's another garage door after we've already had so many garage doors. And also, we're not even halfway through this year yet, but with the amount that we have had accepted so far, including Twitch drops, we do look like we're going to beat last year's amount, and last year's amount was the record-breaking amount. How many of those garage doors are currently in the positive right now? Point made? Yeah. How many of these are currently in the positive right now? And you can't count those 2 because they just became marketable. Give it a week, look at them again. Yeah. So, I will give you this answer. I don't think this is going to sell as much as the garage doors we saw the previous week. That might help it out a little bit, but there will be more garage doors, there will be more options, and it'll be a struggle for this to maintain interest. It's unfortunate, but it keeps on happening. We just keep seeing more and more and more garage doors, okay? By all means, if you think this looks awesome, if you prefer this over the previous garage doors that we've seen, and you want to buy it, just go buy it. Treat yourself. Support the skin creator. This could potentially build up into a brand new deplorable collection, perhaps. But for what it is, again, don't just, worry about everything. If you're going to be, really questioning me, hey, is that going to get cheaper in the future? I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Alright? So, is you going to go about it that way? Okay, cool. Shall we actually go in game now and give it a good look? So, let's get nice and up close. 2 gigantic ruby jewels for eyes. Observe the shine. Yeah, you could probably give it a good wipe there. It's got a bit of smudgy ear. But yeah, that's reflective. And if we could just pan away, you can see the cool looking snakes, the 2 beasts, the fire. And of course, pull back, nighttime. Give that a good look. Suddenly it's all nice and red. Stands out quite devilishly. Do the lights have much effect on the... Well, is there a reflection? I do see the stone detail stand out a little bit better. That does kind of come across quite nicely. Yep. But of course, at night time, let's give that a good look. So, lights off, and observe. That is a very nice looking glow-in-the-dark design. The whole thing, the fire there, giving off the effect that, it's causing the actual, garage door to reflect and whatnot. That's very nicely done. I think that's a very cool looking garage door. It's just I already have a lot of other garage doors. That right there, though, by all means, do you like it? Feel free to comment below. And would you like to see this turn into a nice deplorable collection? We shall see. But let's hop out of here now and, well, kind of give a final say. So just to get the point across, I'm not hating on the design. It's just we have too many garage doors. It's just bad timing. That came out last week. That probably would have done 35,000 subscribers as well. But, yeah. Again, don't have to treat every single skin as an investment. You could just buy a skin because you like it, alright? So, I'll leave it at that. But, it is abnormal. We can chase after that next Wednesday night. Of course, look at the description. You'll see links to all my socials. And, of course, next Wednesday night, I will be on stream, my Twitch stream. And we'll look at all the skins. We'll look at the sales they currently have as of then. And we'll discuss prices we might want to offer all of these skins. But over the course of this weekend, I would be surprised if we potentially start seeing, more garage doors, sheep doors. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Because if Facepunch keep accepting more garage doors, skin creators are going to feel more inclined to want to keep making more garage doors. So it just continues. Oh, no. Alright, fair enough. Let's talk about the Croco double barrel shotgun. This is an awesome looking design. This is, well, look at that. The teeth, the scale texture, and it's a green weapon. Oh, cool. Yeah, fair enough. The perfect weapon for you to hide in the grass and the bushes and whatnot. Oh, I'm sure you're going to greatly appreciate that. If I could just go back over to here and point out how I put out these videos recently. Jungle camouflage. We got tier 3, tier 2, hoodie and pants and jackets being showcased in this video. And over to here, primitive with ponchos, burlap and whatnot. Like, if you're really looking forward to the idea of hiding in a bush, waiting for someone to pass by, and blasting their head off with a very nice green weapon such as this, well, consider looking up the ideas of what armour and clothing you could use. So, okay, you know, that's looking pretty promising. That's looking pretty sweet. But yeah, a double-barrel shotgun. Have we had a green one before? You know what? I want to quickly look that up. Out of all the double-barrel shotgun skins we've seen in the past, have we had a green one like this? And my answer to you is, we did have Bamboo Blaster. That's currently up to $3. Okay, you know what? That's pretty promising. We have had Ghost Blaster, but that one glowed, if I can recall, or something like that. It's got yellow and red, so yeah. Jade is like a very bright green. Scroll. That's it. That's all we have. So, okay, you know what? We'll take a look at this Bamboo Blaster. And if I can recall, this sold like next to nothing. This sold like next to nothing. $2.60 at the moment. Highest bar is $2.42. And it's only had 5 sales today. Like, this sold next to nothing. It's rising ever so gracefully. But it's slow. And it very likely has the benefit due to the fact that it only did 4,500 subscribers. So over to here, we're already halfway matching up to that. But the design, again, to really appreciate it, I've got to showcase it off to you right now. So let's go hop to it. It's the crocodiles. Here he is. So, give that a good look. Nice little inspection there. Look at those scales. That's awesome. That's a lovely looking design. Now, I will point this out. Double barrel shotguns, in the past, you could not skin the AIMSIGHT, but you can now. Unfortunately, we haven't seen it on this design. Would have been nice to have seen it, but yeah, this still has like that standard copper sort of AIMSIGHT that you see in a standard double barrel shotgun. And if I could just give this nice little reload, feed it some lovely food. There you go. Now it's a happy crocodile. Bam, bam. Awesome. Can't do no wrong. Oh, there goes the bird. Bye, bird. Nighttime look. Give that a nice little inspection. Do the eyes stand out or anything? Vaguely. And the teeth. Yep. Here's looking at you, buddy. Right, so for what it is, I think it looks nice. I think it looks cool. What are your opinions? Feel free to comment below. But let's showcase it on stage as well. Cool, look at that. That's a very shiny looking crocodile. Okay, well that's looking pretty sweet. And if I could just size myself up, get myself in position, and away I go. So, in terms of creative idea, oh, I've got to give some bonus points for that. That is sweet. The fact that they actually have like the nose there and whatnot, teeth go all around. That's one sinister looking crocodile. So yeah, I think people appreciate that. I think people could respectfully enjoy it for what it is. Now if I could just quickly go to here, show it during the day as well. Show that side there. Got 2 eyes, got the teeth on this side as well. It's another mouth. A very wicked, dastardly looking design. I'm sure that could be working out quite nicely. How much is it going to sell though? That is a good question. But I will sit here and say this. It is abnormal. We can wait till Wednesday, look at the sales then, and then of course make considerations. I am looking at this with positivity, but that's also due to the fact that I do like the design, and I'm very pleased to see that this was accepted. We'll see how it rolls from here, but double barrel shotguns haven't exactly been super great in the past like couple years. So let's just quickly hop out, get a good look at that, and well, see for ourselves. Okay, so here we go, double barrel shotgun skins, and just take a quick look at all the prices for the recent ones. Down 47, down 55, down 38, down 16, and down 20. Yeah. Now, in the past, you know, we've got these here. That's a blackout double barrel shotgun. Most blackout skins are, well, doing very nicely. So, if the collection as a whole does alright, not too surprised to see that one's doing good as well. And as I said, this sold like next to nothing. So, But, this also sold next to nothing, and that's still down in price. This one working out nicely, probably due to the green coloration. We'll talk more about this next Wednesday, alright? That's going to be the smartest way to approach it. At the end of the day, though, if you like it and you want it for yourself, go ahead, buy it. Appreciate it. Love it. Aztec Rock door. We just had 2 sheep doors the previous week, and they also sold quite a lot. I don't anticipate this will sell as much as those, but how many sheep doors do we now have in total? 263? I was correct, because I kept yapping about how there was 262 last week. And before that, I'd have yapped about how there's tons of sheep doors. Yes, there's tons of them. Now, again, you're going to sit there and say, but they're in the positive. They're in the positive as of now. Look at them again in a week. Tell me what it looks like then. And, yeah. So, 28,900 subscribers, 26,500. I am not going to be surprised the slightest if it does drop off pretty badly. Sorry to say, but that feels like an inevitability. Just take a look at last year, and you'll see out of 42 skins, a record-breaking amount for sheep doors in a single year, you will see for yourself that we only have ultramarine sheep door currently in the positive, which is it's not a good thing. We have seen sheep doors with transparency and glow in the dark work out quite alright. That is why you'll see the B door here is doing pretty promisingly at the moment. Maybe we'll see a collection continuation at some point. Why didn't we see it this week? Anyway, moving on. Well, it's not jungle theme, so anyway, moving on. I am not feeling confident about that one. Again, if you think it looks really cool, if you're very interested in its design being very similar to the rock skin, of course, then yeah, alright, jump on it. Lottie made a cool looking sheep door. Doesn't glow in the dark or anything, you'll see that for yourself. But yeah, don't be surprised that drops down in price afterwards. Again, there's nothing wrong with design. It's just the amount of skins we've got for this is ridiculous. The amount we've had just this year, which again, if I could just quickly show this to you. If we got 42 last year, and we're getting fairly close to the halfway point this year. I mean, it does feel like we're kind of slowing down compared to the previous year, but don't be surprised if we see some more Twitch drops and whatnot. Alright, point made. Shall we actually go ahead now, give this a good looking game and see for ourselves what it looks like? Now I'm just starting off in the shade, but if I could just move the sun around, well, that shines up quite nicely, doesn't it? But yeah, you might have noticed it wasn't like glowing or anything. So, looking nice and shiny. Lovely bit of work there, Mr. Lottie. I think people will be liking it. But I just wouldn't be surprised if people start liking the next sheep door they see. And the one after that. And the one after that. Yep, very similar to like sheep door, AK-47 skins. There will always be more. And there will also be collections and whatnot. I don't know if this is going to build up into a collection. We shall see. But yeah. That is obviously reminiscent of the rock that we have. The special jungle DLC that we got last week. You get a special rock, with the AK and the shelves and the bamboo barrels. It, matches up wonderfully. I don't think people are going to care that much as time goes on. So, yeah. Anyway, night time. As you can see, with the lights right next to it, it does make the gold reflect ever so nicely. Oh, yes. Observe. Do you like that? Pretty sweet. And of course, in total darkness, what were you going to expect? Give that a good look. My flicker's not working here. Okay. Right. Got my hand all nice and good. There you go. Now, it's just a bit buggy sometimes. So anyway. Yeah. Okay. I don't have that much faith. I feel like I've said that. So, shall we just move on? Yeah. Sorry. Where am I? It's quite quiet. Can you hear a bird, perhaps? Yes, I can. It's the Tropico SAP. So let me just move the sun around, give that a good look. There we go. Can we get some sunlight? Can we get... Oh, there we go. That'll do. A nice, bright, colourful, goofy look design. It's a sap in which the body of it is basically a beak. Okay. Cool. I'm not going to say no. It's pretty fun, silly and goofy. A fun little unique design. Do you like it? Now, sap skins, they tend to be pretty reliable, don't they? Yep. They don't really go down in price that badly unless they're like kind of ugly, sorry to say. Do you think the bird's ugly? I can confirm that with the night light, it stands out pretty brightly. You can see that pretty easily. And of course, quick look over here. Give a nice reload. Feed the bird. There you go. That's how we feed the bird. Yeah. I think people could like this. And we should point out, so far this year, we've had some pretty nice sap skins already. And they're all doing really, reasonably okay. but they're not going up in price that much. Regardless, let's just showcase this nicely on the stage. Not too reflective. Okay, well, let's just put myself in position, give myself a lovely look, and let's get up close. So, unique idea. Well, bonus points from me, I like it. I think it looks ever so fun. VHS tonight, you did a wonderful job with this. But yeah, I mean, it's just like basically another colourful set. So what's the likelihood that this just retains its value, probably only goes up by about 10% and just kind of sits like that in the Steam market forever? Well, that's basically describing a lot of the other SAPs we've had in recent times. That's not like, that's not a diss, but yeah, we're starting to build up quite a lot of SAP skins now, aren't we? And they don't really go up in price too high. Some do, but most of them just kind of basically retain their value and that's it. Let's go ahead, look at the other SAPs and talk about this more on SUM.app. So again, I'm not like upset with what I'm seeing here, but it definitely feels like maybe you're going to be better off with doing a buy order. Maybe like a $1.50 buy order. Pick these up for slightly cheaper. Watch it as it probably retains its value or just stays slightly above at like up 10% or 20%. Up 10, up 20, up 10, up 20. Yeah. Blackout SAP's doing pretty alright. Again, blackout weapon, so. Alright, cool. But yeah, do I have high hopes for it? I think it's going to do a fantastic job, potentially ending up at about plus 20% in the future. That's it. That's all I can really say. Cool design. I don't think we have any other yellow SAP. Oh, there you go, banana. No. Yeah. But it's a bird. Yes, it is. There's not much else I can say. I expect some positivity. It's not abnormal. But again, I'll just probably stick with doing a buy order. $1, $1.50. I'll probably pick a few up, flip it, make about 70 cents profit. Cool. Yeah. We can keep an eye on the sales, of course. Yep, that would be a good thing to do. But I don't expect that much, and I don't expect that much of a difference in terms of big potential gains. So, yeah, VHS. I need to see a different type of bird for every single weapon now. There you go. Now you got to commit to that. Now it'll be funny. Tropical bird collection. Budgie Ioka or something. No, what would you do? What's a silly bird idea you could consider for a weapon? Feel free to comment below. Jungle Bite Python. So we've just got a funny, goofy bird SAP. Now we've got a cool looking, goofy design for a python here. So if you haven't noticed, it's like a crocodile here, and I initially thought it was a snake, but it's just like a very small, tiny crocodile. When you shoot, he goes, "Arr!" So I'm looking forward to showcasing this. But I will sit here and say, we have seen this in the past. We had the Python, didn't we? Do you remember that? If you don't, well, it was a very similar idea, but I just want to get this point across. Python, where are you? Oh no, where are you? Python. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you are. He's half his price. He's sitting there at just under $1. Yeah, be a little bit careful. People don't care about Python skins, it seems. But yeah, very similar. It's not like that one's a snake. This one's a crocodile. It's different. But yeah, down 51, down 45, down 51, down 48. Loads of these down real bad. Most of them down by about half their price. Only the ones with a very nice, interesting AIMSIGHT, transparent AIMSIGHT, are the ones that are doing better. Okay? So, of course, we now need to go in game and give this a good look. And here we are. And there's that angry little face. And alright, okay, cool. So, yes, pretty fun, silly design. Sorry. Quick look at night time, if we may. Does it stand out quite nicely? I can see the teeth. Yeah, okay, that's probably a little bit helpful. Okay, cool. But transparent AIMSIGHT? No. I've got a funny, goofy looking face, though. I had that in a Python. It's half the price now, so... Yeah, a little bit awkward, sorry to say. Do I have a lot of faith in this one? Well, you might sit there and say, oh, but it's a green python. Python's green. There's other green pythons. And they're all down in price. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith. I'm sorry to say. Very fun, silly approach. It's just, yeah, unfortunately. It's... The the goofy idea probably isn't going to give it a good enough boost. So let's go give this a good look on stage. Get a good look at that reflection. Some of the scales standing out quite nicely. If I may, stand over here, and of course, here we are. Give that crocodile a nice little look. A very interesting looking fella. Do you like the design? And would you like to see more of this? Now, I've been seeing a lot of crocodile themed weapons and whatnot. We just saw a double barrel shotgun, for example. Is there going to be a point where they have ideas and they conflict and only one of them will be accepted? Or neither? I don't know. You're going to have to take this into consideration. Maybe the double barrel shotgun or this Python only ever get just this one skin. One of them might progress and get more and more skins. The other one, just one skin. All right? So we'll see what one what one actually managed to, get collection continuation. But yeah, for what it is, I like the idea. Looks cool. It's just I don't have that much faith in Python skins. Sorry to say. Okay? I'm sure you can probably agree with that. So shall we go ahead and showcase the next weapon skin? Wabam! Robstar has made another very cool looking transparent salvage sword. Okay, well, how many tigers did you happen to kill to get all that teeth? Quick look at night time, go. I wasn't really expecting much. You can see the teeth, but right, anyway, back over to here. It's a cool looking design, but salvage swords, they are not in demand. Skins, nope. So we'll showcase that off in a bit, but yeah, basically every single salvage sword that's come out since like 2020 has gone down in price like very steeply, like just basically around $1. I'm not joking. You'll see that for yourself in a bit. But first of all, can we see this on stage? Give that a nice little look. Robstar, you do make some very nice looking salvage swords. Now I kind of got like pose like this, and then yep, that'll do. Give that a lovely, lovely look. The transparency is very interesting, but I've seen a lot of transparent swords being accepted over the past, 3 years now? And all of them basically dropped down. I'm not joking. So, I mean, you could be a little bit optimistic, just sit there and say, I like it, I want to buy it. Then yeah, go ahead, treat yourself. But as an investment, no. That's going to probably be an instant 60 cents to 80 cents. Very sorry to say. Looks very nice. I am impressed. He's done a very good job with this. It's just, I just know how this is going to go. So let's go ahead, go on SCMM, and we'll see for ourselves. Okay, so salvage sword skins. Get a good look at this, and what do we see? Well, quite literally, every single sword skin has gone down in price since we saw the Minecraft sword, the Pixel sword. So Katana sword, Chris sword, prototype sword, down 50%, down 49, down 50, down 51, down 54, down 50, down 42, down 53, down 40, down 54, down 62. Yeah, that looks like it's very in demand right now, isn't it? Sorry, but yeah, I'm sure you understand. Now you might point out, what about Chocolate Sword? Well, when this came out during Easter, I think it was the second week, hardly any of those skins sold that much. People didn't care. But due to a sheer lack of, purchases, that's led to a sheer lack of listings, which has now led to, well, if these people refuse to list theirs below a certain point, that's the price. So eventually you'll see this pick up, and technically speaking right now, that's slightly in the positive, but it's only sold 2 in the past 24 hours. So point is, yeah, that's already sold, 1,500. Give it a week, probably reach up to about 10,000. At $3, that's going down in price. Maybe a nice collection might be built out from it, but that's going down in price. People don't seem to appreciate the salvage sword item, and therefore, what's the justification to own skins for it? Point made. So, yeah. So overall, quiet week, I'd agree. Some of the skins do stand out quite nicely. We've already showcased all of that. Again, feel free to comment below. Point out the skins you actually like this week, and you could sit to say if you bought ones for yourself. Feel free to comment below what you think is actually looking promising. But next week, what could we expect? Maybe then we'll see the clothing armor. Now, if I could just show this off to you. So these are all the newer skins. Can confirm none of the skins today were early picks. So all the most recent submissions we saw just this past weekend, nope. Scroll. Lots of jungle themed skins. But of course, we're here to talk about the clothing and armor options. There's some awesome looking designs. So you got like this burlap option here. Got a man covered in snakes, which you can see here. Oh, awesome. Got the cool looking Jungle Hunter set right here. Nice primitive option. Now, there you go. Reptile Hunter leather gloves and hide boots. That would have been awesome. People would appreciate that. There's also this one here. Oh, I love it. This is great. Just looking at this picture, you can instantly tell what the reference is. Who is it? Steve Irwin. There you go. So, collared shirt, short skin. Yeah, that's cool. I think people would like that. Then you got like Jungle Gorilla, hide shirt, Jungle Ranger, hoodie and pants. These would have been some interesting green options today. People would love that. We also got Green Man over here. That's a nice, scary sort of Leshen design. But no, none of this today. Not a single early pick. So if I go to the previous week's skins, now I would show off TTG's top picks, but I don't know where he is. He hasn't submitted anything this week. He's been quiet, so let's hope everything's all right. But again, going all the way down to clothing armor, look at the options we had. We could have had like Jungle Revenge, Jungle Raiders, Banana Leaf, Raptor Hunter boots and gloves, Roadside boots and gloves, Jungle Tier 2, Jungle Ranger Tier 2, Jungle Warrior, even Tired Tier 3 would have been alright. I wouldn't have been too upset. I actually kind of pointed that out in my abnormal video, but no clothing armor for you this week. The only way I'm going to accept an apology is if I see a hoodie and pants, a Tier 2 and a Tier 3 set in next week's Rust or Face Punch. Didn't mean to hit my mic there, sorry. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. But sometimes this is a Rust we get. Sometimes, so yeah, just got to shrug and move on. If you're not feeling like you need to spend that much funds or do that many barters, that's fine. You know, just move on. So, player count today, not too crazy. I'm kind of getting the feeling May isn't going to be that wild. I can still see it doing better compared to April. Just don't really expect it to be doing that much better. So, you know what? Looking at last year, 80,000 for April, 82,000 for May. Sure, we'll accept that, I guess. Not going to complain too much. Right then, so, maybe we have to wait until at least June till we actually start noticing prices for skins starting to rise up and whatnot. Fair enough, we'll have to probably wait for that. Now, in the meantime, we obviously want to keep an eye on the commits, but this week has been a bit different. It's Hack Week. Basically, after a big fat update that was the jungle update, the developers are working on whatever they want to work on at the moment. They will probably have some ideas that have been in the back of their head for the past couple months or so, and now for this week, they get to spend that time working on something that they think could work out very nicely for this game. So I've seen some things like a flare gun. Okay. If I shoot at someone, does it burst them into flames? Some people deserve that. Some people deserve that. Or, you know, of course, shooting at the sky, people can see the flame and, yeah, cool. All right. Not going to say no to that. And then over to here, like a rotating platform. Is that like a bookcase? Is that like something on display, constantly rotating, showcasing something? Don't know. We'll find out soon. Can I put all my plushies on my Rustage eggs on it and just make them constantly spinning around? Don't know. We'll find out. Maybe it'll be a DLC. Oh, no. Okay, so, yeah, that's nice. So is there anything else that should be addressed? Well, let's just quickly go over to here. Now, recently, I've put this out, and, well, 2 years ago, we had an official complete the sets for May 2023. More specifically, the rush store was May 18, 2023. We saw the arrival of the whiteout boots. Yeah, they sold pretty ridiculously. But of course, like military hoodie and pants, Arctic Skull, Banana Collection, Hell Collection, Frog Cosplay. In short, if you don't know what complete the sets is, there are lots of skins from notable collections that weren't accepted in the past. But when we have complete the sets, they're all eligible. They're all skins that could potentially be selected, and we have a rush store like that. I wouldn't mind something like that. But this happened in the third week of May 2023. The next year, aka last year, 2024, there was no announcement. There was nothing official said, but it still happened. We had a pseudo complete the sets. Now, this wasn't a coincidence. We don't just randomly see Neon Storage Collection randomly getting a skin accepted, Training Collection randomly getting a skin accepted, Toxic Collection randomly getting a skin accepted. In short, that was on the workshop for 11 months and 1 week. That was on the workshop for 8 months. That was on the workshop for 3 years and 3 months. It wasn't a coincidence. That was done on purpose. And of course, you know, the return of the Neon Storage Collection led to a series of small boxes being accepted. Lovely. Then that led to lockers. Lovely. Then that led to garage doors. Okay. Training collection got the final clothing armor piece. That was the jacket. Cool. That's nice. Toxic armor double door. That was a big surprise. Hadn't seen a toxic deplorable skin since like 2021. So yeah, it was pretty surprising. You also happen to see like Abyss boots finally being accepted. That was the last piece that we needed for all the clothing armor, and then Fish roadside pants. For many, many years, we only had the coffee can and the vest, the roadside vest, but finally we saw the Fish roadside pants. So yeah, all of that, all of those skins, they're from collections. So next week, the 3rd week of May, or maybe the week after, we'll see. Because there's actually 5 weeks of Rust Doors this month. Are we going to see it complete the sets? And more importantly, what collections do you reckon could potentially be picked from? Well, if only we had a collection link that we could look at right about now that could give us a good idea. Oh, there you go. So I know there is an official collection that only TGG and the Face Punch devs see for themselves, because TGG showed it off in the video. But we can't see that. So I just made one. Now, I will link this in the description, and you could comment below what collections would you like to see getting a skin accepted for a potential complete the sets 2025. So if we could just scroll down, you should look at these skins as if they are representatives of their collections. Shadowborn Locker, for example. The locker in itself was never accepted, and that, you know, in itself, lovely looking design. I think that looks cool. But if we actually look at the collection link provided, Shadowborn, you also see we also happen to have a Shadowborn armor double door. And let me tell you, that also looks awesome. I wouldn't say no to that. But point made. Go and actually see if there's a collection link provided. Go and see if there's actual like other skins that you can take a look at. Shadowborn collection last year. Oh, a lot of people loved that. Could we probably get one more? Pretty please. Alright, anyway, so get a good look at all these collections. Pizza, Ramen Shop, Glacial Visage, Shadowborn, Porcelain, Blocky. All of that's there. I can't say them all. But most importantly, especially for you investors, I'm sure you're just itching to potentially see some clothing and armor. Alright? Maybe today's Rust Store was done on purpose. Maybe we do get a complete sets next week. Maybe we get a lot of completed clothing and armor sets. Or maybe we get primitive clothing. Do you want to see a Frog Boonie hat potentially being accepted? Or do you want to potentially see a Forest Raiders burlap set potentially being accepted? Maybe. Well, do you reckon we need some green stuff right about now? Anyway, what about a whiteout jacket? I'm just saying, I think a lot of people might potentially appreciate that. Scrolling down, plenty of boots and gloves to pick from. Fish gloves there. Pirate boots and gloves. Commando boots and gloves. Reptile hunter boots and gloves, please, if we can, if we may. Anyway, scroll down a little bit more. Now we're going to start seeing like hide clothing, hoodie and pants. Oh, would you like to potentially see some, I don't know, maybe some Sand Rhino hoodie and pants right about now? Have you seen the price of Desert Raiders right about now? Almost $300 for the full set. Yep. What about Whiteout? Well, Whiteout alternative. Thundergold. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Whiteout. Thundergold never got us hoodie and pants. We got tier 2. We got tier 3, but we never got the hoodie and pants. And I know people are just itching for the potential, the possibility. We'll see. Yes, Mr. Micro. Thundergold! Right, anyway, moving on. We also have Elite Crate tier 2. That'd be awesome. Wouldn't say no to that. Again, dark green, great for the jungle. Just saying. Come on, Face Punch. You accepted tier 3 in hoodie and pants. Why would you say no now? Anyway, moving on. Pizza. Don't do pizza, please. Not now. You could do it, though. B cosplay. We never got it. It felt perfect for the cooking update. I'm just saying. We never got the tier 2. We got tier 3 B, we got hoodie and pants B, but no tier 2. You have brought in beehives, but you will not let me become the bee itself. Let me become the bee, Face Punch. I deserve this. Milho Frito also deserves this. Comics, tank armor, flashbacks, gold chains. You got Cybercode, Target, Spaceville. It's all there. Go through this in your own time and wallow at the unfortunate demise of never potentially seeing it ever. Today could have been a lovely day, but, well, maybe it's been saved for next week. Because, again, next week will be the 3rd week of May 2025. And with what we've seen in the previous years, maybe all the skins being jungle-themed skins today could also... This is all a stretch. This is all fantasy. This is just me guessing, all right? But considering what happened last year, I'm kind of expecting and I'm kind of like waiting for the possibility of this happening again, all right? Let me be hopeful. Let me have something positive to look forward to. But yeah, it would be a nice thing to look out and be surprised with. So yeah, maybe that is why we got this Rustore today. Maybe you should stop complaining at me. So here we meet our end. It's getting late, but I'm still dancing around. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was nice and insightful. Hope we did a very good job in showcasing all the skins in a very nice view. Take, for example, this garage door here. Turn off the lights. And let's get a good look at this with the firelight right next to it. It glows very brightly. I'm not sure if it's going to really change the appearance, but with the fire ever so close, it does kind of help bring out the details of the stone. Not too bad, not too bad. A very nice looking design. Let's see if that turns into a collection. And again, just going back to the AK. So again, back over to here. I know we're being a bit silly what with the AIMSIGHT. At the end of the day, if you're not really 100% sure, but you still like the design of the skin and whatnot, I mean, I gotta tell you this, just like, whip it out. There you go. All our problems are solved now. It's that simple. So, yeah, there you are. Cool, 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 cool. So yeah, that is it. That is everything. Will we be blessed with a complete the sets Rustore next week, the 3rd week of May, like 2024 and 2023? I would like to stay optimistic. I would like to see it happen. I'd also like to see a lot of clothing and armor sets being completed. But yeah, it would be nice to have something to look forward to, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm still expecting a whole batch of like skins to appear in the workshop, so should we hop out of here real quickly? Don't forget to, keep an eye out for my Rust Workshop skin checks video. Again, none of the newest skins are accepted today, but they're all here, all the collection continuations, chaptered like so. So, that might be a nice little thing to get a good look at. If you want to see something a little bit more calming, pleasant, consider watching the Art of Rust server March 2025 showcase. The tour around, some lovely showcases of art, interesting designs that you wouldn't normally see in a normal server. And if you're very curious about like green clothing and armor as camouflage, this video here for tier 3, tier 2, hoodie and pants and jackets, and this one here for all the primitive clothing and armor skins. And do not forget, for both of them, everything is chaptered if you specifically only care about a certain set that you're curious about. So that's everything. Thank you once again. Oh, by the way, to that guy that kept asking me on YouTube, how do you do it in which when you snap your fingers, you make the lights all turn off? I went and studied at Hogwarts. I'm a magician. So, of course, when I do this, see? Magic. Just like that.